Indeed, He is holy forever. A good morning to you, cherished viewers. You are welcome to your favorite morning show, Koko Digest Morning Show. I am your host for today, Yayura Awuno. We are coming to you live from the studios of Clock TV, and you can also catch us on GoTV channel 184. And if you're not in the comfort of your home, don't worry. You can find us on Facebook and on YouTube. Just search for Clock TV GH. Like, share, and subscribe to our pages. And of course, join in the live stream. Now, here's what to expect for the morning show as on the online segment, especially in the extended parts as later in the show. We're going to be having conversations with some key members of society. We're going to be having conversations with regards to the call for sanctions for school heads with regards to the examination malpractices happening, especially when it comes to the WASI. We're also going to be talking about the issues coming up with regards to the Lake Bosumche as well. And then on the lifestyle segment, we're going to be talking to a very amazing up-and-coming artist, and not to ruin the surprise, so I won't be giving you the name, but you have to stay tuned for the lifestyle segment to get to interact with this new act, an amazing musician, and, get familiar with his music and support him. But for now, let's prepare to be motivated for today. Now, as we like to do here on the morning show, we like to motivate ourselves and our viewers. And today's quote, which is also for the weekend as it approaches today's Thursday, is by Elizabeth Gilbert. And she says, "Your home is wherever you are willing to be honest with yourself." Your home is wherever you are willing to be honest with yourself. Now, Elizabeth Gilbert frames home not as a fixed place, but as an internal state, one that is built on self-awareness and truth. When she says your home is wherever you are willing to be honest with yourself, she is pointing to the idea that peace does not come from geography, relationships, or achievements alone, but from the courage to face who you really are. This includes acknowledging uncomfortable emotions, hidden desires, and even contradictions within yourself. Now, many people search for belonging externally, moving through spaces and relationships, hoping to feel settled, yet remain unsettled because they are avoiding that deeper confrontation with their own truth. At a deeper level, this quote suggests that self-honesty creates emotional stability. When you stop performing for others or suppressing parts of yourself, you remove the tension between who you are and who you pretend to be. That alignment is what feels like home, a sense of ease, grounding, and acceptance. It doesn't mean that life becomes perfect or free of struggle, but it means you are no longer divided within yourself. In that sense, home becomes portable. It travels with you because it is rooted in authenticity rather than circumstance. And I hope that this quote, shakes a few things within you. There are certain issues that obviously we all need to address within ourselves. We need to accept, we need to go back into ourselves and do some introspection, and also start learning to accept ourselves, stop pretending, stop performing for other people just because we want to belong to ourselves first. This is the quote for today, and I hope that it has motivated you as I have been inspired myself. And up next will be the weather report with Peter Insia shortly. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're welcome back to the Koko Digest Morning Show, and if you're just tuning in, it's time for the weather report, and I have my co-hosts with me here. They are also going to be joining me for the online and print review, but for now, let's get into the weather report with Peter Nsian. Hello, Peter.
Thank you very much, Aria.
I hope you're well.
I'm super, I don't know the word to even do, to even say I'm doing wonderfully well, up and grateful. And as always,
Divine selection.
Divine selection.
All right, so let's get into the weather quickly.
All right. And it should be displayed on your screen now, as usual. This one is from the Ghana Meteorological Agency, and this is the 24-hour impact-based forecast for Ghana. Then this morning, early this morning till now, the people within the coastal areas, the transition almost across all the country experienced partly cloudy condition with mist and fog patches forming over the forest and hilly areas. And so, as usual, when it happens like that, GMET advises that drivers or early commuters make good use of their headlights and reduce speeding. And as the day progresses, bright and sunny weather will prevail across all sectors. And so, as usual, today the sun is going to be scorchy. This was across all sectors, and so viewers should take, note of it and ensure that if you are not leaving the comfort of your home, you can decide what to wear. As we've been told, the little science we learned that when the weather is scorchy and you wear black, it absorbs heat and all that. And so if you are not leaving the comfort of your home, you can decide to, check the attire you want to wear and then carry an umbrella with you. You don't only use an umbrella when it's raining. You can also use it when the sun is very scorchy. So as GMET is saying, across the country today, it is going to be very scorchy. And so viewers should take note and act accordingly. And then from late afternoon into the evening, thunderstorm or rain are likely to affect parts of the middle, transition, and northern sectors. So from the middle, transition, and the northern sectors, they should expect some showers of rain this evening. But for the people in the southern sector, it is going to be partly cloudy as usual. And so those within the middle belt, transition belt, and the northern sector should expect some showers of rain. That is from the people of Kumasi, Obuasi, Takwa, Seshibekwa, Ketikrachi, Kintampo, Bosu, and its environment, and the northern region, Tamale, Bole, Damango. All these places should expect some showers of rain this evening. And as I stated earlier, for those in the southern sector, this evening is going to be partly cloudy. And so that is it for today's weather report. Yara.
Right. Thank you so much. And yes, now that it's time for our online and print review, we also like to get into the word for the day. And yes, aside Peter, we have Bevelyn here with us as well. Hello, Bevelyn. Good morning.
Hello, Yara.
I hope you're well.
I'm doing very well. Yourself?
I'm great too. You're looking.
Thank you.
You
look good too.
Thank you.
I'd like to say that I'm very happy this morning because the two of you are bright. Like I'm now the brightest guy because the two beautiful people.
And the handsome gentleman complimenting us just right.
From my left and right. So today I'm the king.
You and me. Right. So the word for today is a word apparently I like to use, and I was notified by Peter today. It's introspection. Introspection. Now, the meaning of this word, the short meaning is on your screen, where it's the act of examining your own thoughts and feelings. But I like to go deeper, as we're already aware. And it says the process of deliberately examining your own thoughts, your emotions, and inner experiences to gain self-understanding. The process of deliberately examining your own thoughts, emotions, and inner experiences to gain self-understanding. So this is to basically say that introspection, is when you try to understand yourself and examine certain things about yourself that usually, if you're not self-aware, you will not be able to do. So, my co-host here.
Yeah.
Have you come across this word aside me using it all the time?
No, I mean, I got to hear and know of the word through you.
Really?
Yeah, seriously. Like to use introspection. And I mean, it's very deep. We tend to practice it after an argument. That's where you go sit down quietly to think about what actually transpired, as though if you were on the right path or you did wrong. And so I think the word is very deep, and I'd like to take us through the origin, where the word came from. So the word introspection is derived from Latin combination intro, that's inward, and specere, to look. It literally translates to looking within.
Yes.
And the term was first used in the 1670s to describe the action of closely examining or inspecting something. And so as usual, as we've been saying it, I don't want to form a sentence with you, because if I do, I'll use you as
All right, so Beverly, what about you? Are you going to spell it for us? We're doing spelling bee here.
Well, so I think introspection is a very, positive word for a start, especially the fact that, there's a lot of things are happening in the world where sometimes you sit quietly and you begin to examine yourself as an individual. You begin to ask yourself, oh, where did I go wrong? What happened? Why did I react this way? That is introspection, because you are questioning yourself as an individual. What did you do? What did you not do? So I think even as kids, we were actually practicing introspection, because your mom will scold you. You do something wrong, your mom will scold you. Then you go and stand at one corner. Then you just be thinking, oh, this woman, is she even my mother? Then you have some thoughts like those kind of things. Then you begin to ask yourself, oh, what did I do for this woman to punish me this way? Is she even my mother at all? Like those kind of inner, feeling. You question your emotions, you question your... so that's introspection for us.
Right. Thank you so much. So the words that are similar in meaning to the word introspection, we have self-reflection, self-examination, contemplation, self-analysis, reflection, inward thinking, and soul searching. So these are some of the words that are very similar in meaning to the word introspection. So even if you may not have come across the word introspection, I'm sure that we have seen some of these words. This is just basically telling us the different ways we tend to qualify the term used for asking ourselves questions about certain actions, certain feelings and emotions that we've had. As my colleagues have also said here, especially Peter mentioning that sometimes you have an argument and then you go back and you check whether you were right or you were wrong. Now, the words that are opposite in meaning, we have extroversion, which is the focus on external things. We have distraction, we have avoidance, we have unawareness, we have ignorance, that is ignorance of self, and we have denial as well. So these are the words that are very opposite in meaning to the introspection. Then the example here is, through introspection, he understood why he felt unhappy. Through introspection, he understood why he felt unhappy. Now, lastly, the note for this word is that introspection is closely tied to emotional awareness and personal growth. And it helps to uncover patterns, motivations, and truths you might otherwise overlook. So if there is something about you, you keep saying, that's how I am, you need to do some introspection to find out why you are the way you are. So this is the word for today. Let us ponder over it. Let's incorporate it into our grammar and our language vocabulary. And, show people that we watched the Koko this morning show. Thank you so much for joining us on that. Now, let's go into our newspaper review segment for today. What do you have for us?
Today, a whole lot is trending from yesterday, today. But I would like to touch on one that concerns the Office of the Special Prosecutor.
Okay.
The Attorney General is also trending, and Ghana's Supreme Court, and one High Court Justice John is also trending. And so what am I talking about? There is an issue that the OSP is currently pursuing, and the issue is about the rice saga, and it's the Republic versus Issa Seidu and 3 others. It's about some procurement of rice and what have you. But what is actually trending is that, let me read something small. Okay. Ghana High Court has ruled that the Office of the Special Prosecutor lacks the independent power to prosecute criminal cases without authorization from the Attorney General. The court ordered that all ongoing prosecutions by the OSP be taken over by the Attorney General, immediately halting the OSP's independent prosecutorial role. Before this, the constitutionality of the establishment of the Office of the Special Prosecutor was, under review. This issue is currently at the Supreme Court, and they are checking the constitutionality of the Office of the Special Prosecutor. And then we also have this case where, the Issa and 3 others are also challenging the prosecutorial power of the Office of the Special Prosecutor to actually, take them on. And that is when the Article 88 of the 1992 Constitution comes in, which is, let me read it so Article 88 of the 1992 Constitution of Ghana establishes the Office of the Attorney General, who serves as a Minister of State and the principal legal advisor to the government. The office holds the monopoly in initiating and conducting all criminal prosecutions and civil litigations on behalf of the state. Right. So a whole lot of people are saying that, fine, this Attorney General is being appointed by the President. And so generally, if someone who is being appointed by the President to take the helms or the affairs of, prosecutorial issues in the country and what have you, and then the Office of the Special Prosecutor, who is in turn to ensure that he prosecutes, the issue about ORA, Operation Recover All Loots, he has been, embarking on certain cases and what have you. And now that his prosecutorial mandate is being contested, and that he is supposed to, seek some, for the lack of better word, let me say clarity from the Attorney General before he can embark on his activity, bears the question that, this Attorney General is actually appointed by the President. So that's, in that vein, politics actually comes to play. And also, a lot of people are also saying that the justice who actually ruled that the OSP, the Office of the Special Prosecutor, does not have, the mandate to actually prosecute somebody. He went overboard because he does not have
special prosecutor. Is in the title, isn't it?
Yes, special prosecutor. But
so why doesn't he have the mandate?
This is before he can carry on with any prosecution. He has to, take an order, or let's say, lack of better, permission from the Attorney General.
Okay.
And so with this case, they are saying that he should produce something like a mandate. You see, when a police officer wants to arrest you, sometimes you ask of a warrant. Yeah. Yes. So they are demanding for that. And because he couldn't produce it at that time, the justice ruled that he does not have the prosecutorial mandate to embark on that. But the other people are also saying that per the establishment of the Office of the Special Prosecutor, he already has it. And so there's no way he has to go back. And so if with every case he has to go to the Attorney General and say, see, this is what I want to embark on, the Attorney General says, okay, I've given you 2 days or 3 days or 1 month power to embark on this case. What happens? So it means that he has to go and on and on and on. Like I rightly said, this issue is being contested at the Supreme Court. And so some, analysts or some lawyers believe that the High Court justice shouldn't have, sat on the case or listened, because he does not have the jurisdiction to, hear that case, because it is being contested at the Supreme Court. And then others are also of the view that he has the power. He did not really, state that the special prosecutor does not have the prosecutorial mandate to actually, carry on that duty. He just asked of the power, like you said, that as a police officer, if he's come to arrest you, acts of yes. So that is what he acts. But then he didn't necessarily state that the Office of the Special Prosecutor does not have the prosecutorial mandate to, embark on that. And so that is what is, making waves or trending.
But also, when it comes to even using the police officer analogy, when you are found on the other side of the law, where you've, flouted some laws and the rest, you are not... Okay, let me try and frame it properly. So the police officer is not mandated to use a warrant to arrest you because you are in clear violation. So bringing it to this same situation, if he's required to bring a warrant at every point in time when he has done the necessary things to be able to prosecute someone, he's the one undergoing the prosecution, roles where he's supposed to actually try people, all the cases happening. So now, if whoever he is taking, let's take the former finance minister, he's been accused of all these things, there is evidence and all of that. Does he now have to still go back to whether it's the Attorney General or the Supreme Court's judge or a High Court judge to obtain a warrant to arrest somebody who is clearly in violation of the state's laws and has even been branded, so to say, a fugitive? So what is happening, and what do you think should be the way forward? Because should he always have a warrant first?
Yes, so that has been the argument currently, and there's going to be a hearing today. And so let me just go through the OSP's response.
Okay.
So the Office of the Special Prosecutor has strongly disagreed with this ruling and is actively seeking to overturn it. One, about the jurisdiction challenge, the OSP argues that the High Court exceeded its jurisdiction by effectively striking down part of an act of parliament, noting that such constitutional matters should be decided by the Supreme Court. And then he also said that despite the ruling, the OSP maintains that its ongoing and planned prosecutions remain valid under the Office of the Special Prosecutor Act 2017 Act 959, while they seek legal remedies. And so, I mean, it's a dicey issue with, people that have knowledge about, the law, saying a whole lot about it.
To our viewers, we would like to hear from you. You can send your comments to the WhatsApp number displayed onto your screens or to our YouTube and Facebook live stream. When the phone lines are opened, I will also alert you so you can call. So we'd like to hear from you about this issue with the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Does he need to have a warrant at all times to, prosecute people who are found on the other side of the law? Also, do you think that his position should be, autonomous, independent of any appointments and rather elected, so that these issues would be prevented, needing permission from the Attorney General and whatnot? So let's hear from you. Please do send your comments and your thoughts. We would like to, we want to hear you and how you weigh in on the situation as well. So with regards to that, Bevelyn, do you also have any trends?
So I would like us to go to Kumasi this morning,
Kumasi, okay.
Where something as simple as dustbins has sparked protests or demonstration between, government officials.
Simple though?
Looking at it like weighing the situation, because you are telling me there are dustbins, in the Kumasi Central Business District, where the dustbins have been placed just because of sanitation sake, and then traders are also in the view that it's blocking their frontage.
Oh,
yeah. So that is the story from Ashanti region this morning, Kumasi, and it has brought a whole lot of. I don't know if there's sound to the video, but so we can have a look at it.
Ghanaians. right, so that was a video on the altercations going on there. Yes, please proceed.
It's serious. It's funny, actually, because this is not. This is a situation where development meets resistance. Let's even take the demolition exercise that happened at Kaswa Old Market. We're told that yes, the place was being remodernized into a place that would be suitable for the traders to be able to go about their activities. They were giving places to move, but then these people are resisting until the place got demolished. And we are seeing it has become like an issue now because we want development. And you can see how like the place was congested, like people were all over the place, and this shouldn't be an issue at all, if you ask me.
Let me pose this to our viewers as well. So, yes, we say we want cleaner environments, we want cleaner frontages and everything. Dustbins have been provided, and now traders are saying it's blocking the entrance to their shops and their frontages. What do you think? Do you think is right? Do you think the government is wrong, or do you think the government is right and the traders are wrong? We want to hear from you, so please do share your comments. Please do call when the phone lines are open. For now, send the comments to the WhatsApp number or to the YouTube or Facebook live stream, and I will read them here.
But to even start to should the dustbin be in front of like somebody's shop?
So I'm seeing that it's a number of problems, right? First, it may be a town planning issue, but then also maybe some of our parents or the older generation would say that during Nkrumah's time or during the days of old, the town planning system was working actually, but now with the rural-urban drift and people, the increase in lawlessness, you mentioned the other time that there was a whole traffic light in somebody's shop, right? So it means that there is also a lawlessness issue. There may also be the enforcement issue that the way things in a certain time past were working, the way officials were coming out to do the necessary inspections is not going on as much. So people are able to behave the way they want to. Because for all we know, these dustbins, maybe that is a designated place for the dustbin as, when we look at it from maybe the town planning system thing. But now it's somebody's shop, so there's a problem. Then the question now comes into what is the way forward?
Yeah, I think let us look at this issue holistically. You've made mention of some salient points. Now let's take a look at congestion. Now this is just basically, like you rightly said, sanitation issue, and they shouldn't even complain at all. But then what could be the problem is that the video we just watched, we saw that congestion. Look at the number of people there. And the fact that the issue we are even facing here in Accra, that people sell on pavement. Imagine all of them are within their shops. They are sticking to the rules and regulations. Don't encroach your shop or don't sell on the pavement and you're in your shop, selling. I don't think that the KMA bringing dustbins would be a problem that is blocking your view. It will only block your view if you've decided to sell on the paved ways where people are supposed to use and create that free environment.
And clearly, if you saw from the video, you can see that they were not like properly shops. That was like they've actually set up along like the road, the middle of the road.
And so that is why it is creating a problem. So if you have a makeshift on the road pavement, definitely if they bring dustbins, you ensure that we have good sanitation. It will bring that problem. And so I think the law enforcement, like you rightly said, we should pick the bull by the horn. I mean, if you go contrary to it, as the law says, they should give it to you. It's high time we become so intentional about some of these things.
So even as much as you're all saying very great things, I'm about to sound like the devil's advocate. I am not, but then this is also the reality on ground. There is also the issue where when these dustbins are placed, the rubbish tends to overflow, then clearing them is not as consistent. That is something we face often in the country. So what if these people who are complaining that these bins are in front of their shops are trying to avoid an issue like that, where now my beautiful jewelry shop is, the aesthetic has been marks, because of some of the the bins there, and these bins are probably overflowing because we are in this country where people bring their home rubbish to dump into the outside one. That is for just, passers-by and, people around. People will use, even going as far as dumping them in the gutters instead of just paying a small token for the collectors to come for them. So with that also, don't you think that they're also justified in a way?
No, yeah, like you rightly said, if there is proper settlement, I don't think that the dustbin will be as big as something else that can block your view. If you're in your shop.
Yes, it's not necessarily blocking. It's not necessarily blocking, but because it may overflow and become an eyesore.
That is another part. But their concern is it's blocking their view from attracting customers.
That is what they are trying to avoid. That is what they are saying.
But that shouldn't be the.
But these traders, when you're walking and then you even stand to make a call in front of them, and say, "Hey, Pacho, leave." You're blocking. So what if it is more than that? It cannot just be that it's just a bin, or
so like you said, we have the laws, we have the regulations. I'm sure KMA has its own regulation when it comes to market operations and all that.
Right.
And I'm sure that they've gone deeper into the regulation and they've come to realize that there are certain things that they are doing that do not conform to what the law actually says. And so this is the first step in the right direction. We are having this discussion here because they didn't do the right thing. If they were supposed to be in their shop, like I rightly said, these dustbins wouldn't be a problem. And these dustbins are for, sanitation issues.
Yeah.
And then in the market, that is where they sell some of these things that we consume.
Nowadays, if you go to the market, you don't even see most of the dustbins.
You don't see a lot of them.
So that would mean that you have to carry everything. And if you do see them,
they are full to the brim.
Yeah.
A hazard, actually.
Yeah. And so what we encourage KMA to do is that the issue you raise, the problem that you raise, that they should ensure that anytime it becomes full, they have people there to, take them from there. Anytime it has to be clean. Because we can't have, a dustbin which is, sorry to say, unkempt in the midst of people like that. Look at the congestion.
Yeah,
and then like you rightly said, if a dustbin, has been there for 2 days or 3 days, we can imagine the
stench, and even the diseases that it will bring
about.
So because I realized that when we are coming to work, for the morning shows, very early in the morning, that's where you see clearing. But throughout the day, at least when you try to go to town to get a few things here and there, I don't think I've seen anybody gathering. So maybe this is, is not accurate information, though. This is based on what I've seen so far. I'm thinking that it seems to only happen every morning. It does not happen at various points in the day because looking at the population, let's just use Makola. If Makola is full of 20,000 people at a given time, and then we have about 5 dustbins all over Makola, just 5. Within the first 6 hours, wouldn't these bins be full?
So the point you made mention of, it's actually true because those dustbins, they come around to pick them once. And that is
once a day, yes.
And that is because there's no space, there's no access. The only time you can get access is early in the morning when the people are now coming to the market. But right after 7:30, 8:30, the place becomes choked that even it causes human traffic.
Yeah, that's
true. Talk less of a truck coming around to empty those dustbins. So I think that this is a right step, but then I think they should go down to the scratch. They have to start from the bottom before they get to this side. Because if you don't solve the issue of congestion, the issue of market women selling on the pavement and what have you, and you try to start with this dustbin, that is where the resistance comes in. And I'm sure that this is not speculation; it is true. Most officers in the district assemblies take money from these market women and tell them, you sell here, you can sell here, you can sell. Until we solve those problems, those issues, we can have a sound policy working in our marketplace. So in as much as it is a right thing, they should go down to the drawing board and tackle it from the grassroots before they get to the top. Once they tackle it from the grassroots, when they get to the top, it won't be a problem at all.
Right. Thank you so much. This conversation was starting to get interesting, but we have to cut this segment short. We'll be back again later in the day for the part 2 of the online and print review, the extended version. So don't go anywhere. Right after this break is the lifestyle segment with Beverly and Annabelle and the surprise up-and-coming artist. Do stay tuned.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm feeling good. I had to wake up early, but
But you're looking sharp. Like you look sharp.
Thank you.
What did it take for you to put this together?
We take something. It's good.
I mean, maybe there was some kind of inspiration,
No.
There wasn't any inspiration.
God inspired me today.
That's fine. That's fine. We know that you happen to be a dancer, and a dancer, right? And that makes it unique, because nowadays you see artists, and some of them they are good with music, but performing and a dancer, you are talented.
Thank you.
We are happy to see you here in the studio.
I'm also happy to see you.
Right, let's get right into the conversation for today. Now, we know every artist has a story, okay? But first, we would like to know the name Afel. Or the inspiration. Is it like an abbreviation or?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
And
tell us about it.
It's funny because I think that was GHS3 or something.
Okay.
It was break time, I think on a Friday or something. And I was looking for a stage name at that time. Yeah.
So the inspiration, the music inspiration was from JHS?
Oh, yeah, I write songs from time. So, yeah. So I was finding a stage name, and I still don't remember that person's face or name. But he came to me, I think it was our class prefect or something. Maybe I remember. Came to me and was like, what am I doing? Said, I'm looking for a stage name. Say, why don't you use Afel? I was like, Afel? Okay, I'll think about it. So I went back, reflected, thought about it, and it actually became an abbreviation of my full name. That's Afrani Elisha. So AF is for Afrani, and EL is for Elisha. Yeah. And it also means ambition for everyday life. So
salvation for everyday life.
If you are called Afel, you're an ambitious person.
Bless the Lord. We are saved. We are saved. Now I feel like I've seen you dance with Afro Zig, killing it. And now the spotlight is on music. How does that make you feel?
I'm feeling good because that's what I've envisioned for a very long time. Yeah. The dance came in the way. Like, I don't know how the dance came, but it just came and I accepted it. Yeah. But I just feel good about everything that's going on right now. Yeah.
So how will you describe Afel's music to someone watching you right now, like this morning?
Afel's music?
Yeah.
Our question is deep.
Oh, tell us.
I think it's real. Every word that I put on the song is actually a real life story, like something real that happened, maybe from myself or from a friend, family. It's just real. That's how I put it. And happy. Yeah, real and happy.
So growing up in Ghana, looking at the Ghana music industry, who are you looking up to?
Who am I looking up to? I've been looking up to a lot of people.
Mention three. First three.
Outside Ghana and Ghana. Anyway.
Oh, you can mention.
So my first inspiration, I think, is Justin Bieber. Yeah.
What is it about him that inspires you?
At that time, when I was listening to Justin Bieber, he was so young, very, very young, like 13, 15, doing the music, being successful. And we were all young, so I was looking up to that. Yeah, that's how I also fell in love with Wizkid, because he was young doing it too, you see. And he looked good because, from where we are, our people, our parents don't accept that till you are grown and you make your own decisions, So if you are being young, successful, doing what you love, yeah, it's good. So Justin Bieber, Wizkid, and I transitioned to Fireboy. So yeah, I think those two people.
Interesting. So when was the very moment? We are going like like you're going back, what was the very moment where you said to yourself that I don't want to do dance. I want to do like music for the rest of my life.
Music for the rest of my life. I even thought of that before I started GHS.
Really?
Yeah. Because I've been singing my whole life.
Right.
My mom.
Did you used to sing back at church?
Yeah. My mom.
Where do you church?
House of Peace.
You still go?
Yeah, I still go to church.
That's nice. Your church members must be very proud of you.
Oh, yeah, proud. They treat me like a star over there.
Of course, you're a star. You are a star, like a very big star. Yeah.
I've been singing from time, so yeah, that has been on my mind since. Before I even started writing, I was like, I have to do this.
But like, how was the transition like? From you say you've been singing, combining the two. But then, how was the transition when you decided to, this? I'll just hold on with the dance and then just focus on the music. How was the transition like? Because I know like sometimes like the two go hand in hand. Dancing and singing. Sometimes it can be very stressful because we've had just a handful of musicians that do dance and at the same time music. How was the transition like?
During the days I was dancing, it took a lot of time. The same time that the music needed, the artist part of me needed. Because we were also coming up at that time when I was dancing with Afrozik. Shout outs to Ziggy, shout outs to Calvin Pebby. This morning you are in this club, tomorrow you are performing here, the next day you are in someone's music video. It was taking a lot of time.
Right.
And I won't say dancing is not my calling, but that's not what I planned for my years to come, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I reflected, I was like, nah. I actually like dance, but it's taking a lot of time that I can put the same time and energy into the music that I can do best too. Yeah. So, and I feel like the music is something that I can do different. Yeah, so that's how I transitioned. I was like, no, I have to stick with this. And it goes hand in hand, like you said.
Right.
So even if I'm blown, my music is doing what I can create my own dance, Yeah.
Interesting one day. And you're also a songwriter. Where do you get the inspiration from? Because looking at the rhythm of the music, it's quite, a kickable. I don't know if you understand Ga, but yeah, it's very catchy. So how do you your lyrics, like how does it come? Is it from imagination or maybe experiences? Like how do you do that?
Like I said before, everything I write is a real experience. Something that has happened, or something that is happening in my life, or happening in someone's life that is around me. Yeah. So I pick inspiration from real life story. Because every day new things are happening every day.
Right.
So you can pick inspirations from that. And people relate to real stuff than fictional stuff.
Right.
Yeah, so
that's very true. In this part of the world, especially, like a lot of things are happening, like you said. So what has been like some of the challenges that you face personally as a musician that you feel like people don't see that side?
Hey. It's good that you're asking this question.
Yeah, tell us.
You see, people don't see the behind the scenes, so it's tough.
But you can tell us, you see there's this thing, you can tell us what you want us to see. People would say it's the settings. I don't know if settings, they call it settings. Yeah, so tell us things you've been going through that we don't know Afro is going through this. Tell us about it.
Oh, it's a lot. People see you outside there like you are smiling, but there's a lot going on like behind the scenes. Like it can drain you mentally, But there's one disadvantage. The industry is oversaturated right now. Yeah. I feel like there are a lot of talented people in the industry right now. Every day there's a new artist coming. I don't know if you've realized.
A lot of people.
Yeah, people are creating content every day. People are producing music each and every day. You know, it's oversaturated and sometimes it can drain you because everybody is fighting.
You feel like it's becoming like competitive.
Yeah. And no matter how your work is great or no matter how your work is perfect, like God's creation, like you are looking nice today.
I feel.
You still have to struggle to be seen.
Right.
And to be remembered, you know? Yeah.
So out of the lots of, you know, upcoming musicians, even the musicians that we have on board now, what new thing are you adding to your brand to make it unique and to make it stand out?
First of all, my story. Yeah. And I feel my appearance, no one looks like me. No one looks like I feel.
Are you sure?
No one looks like me.
We saw people like this with their hair.
Are you sure?
What's the style? What's this one called?
Happy boy.
Happy boy.
Yeah. I feel like I'm diverse with like everything I do, and bringing something new to the table. I think my sound is different. I try to like be myself whenever I'm creating.
Right.
So yeah, I think the industry will actually accept that because it's different. Yeah.
So now let's go to the stage. I've seen videos online of some of your performance. Like, when was the first time like you had your first stage performance? Maybe you can take us back memory lane. And how was the feeling like?
First stage performance. I remember I used to...
Because it feels like, listening to your song, okay, it feels like you've been doing this like your whole life, okay? Because the energy is something else.
Part of me.
So I'm just thinking, how would the first performance be like?
Do you remember those days that they used to do luncheon at church? When they come, they'll be selling CDs. When a gospel artist is like...
Yeah.
My mom is a gospel artist, so anytime
That's
maybe
nice.
she performs at church, I watch. After church, I go and stand at
When
the
everybody
pulpit.
had gone home.
Yeah, and I'll be imitating the same thing. So I think those times were my first performances. You know? Yeah, before I performed at JHS, SHS, tertiary, I think those times were my first performances. Yeah.
Right.
I don't feel like I need to perform to a whole crowd to say it's my first performance.
Yeah.
I think those
And
times.
how was the reception like? It's different if you've been performing to a crowd for a very long time, and it's different when you perform like just once. How was the reception? How did people accept you, like the music?
First of all, what grew my confidence when performing was church. Because anytime they call,
So you used to sing worship or praises?
everything.
Everything. But which one did you like? People have like...
I like singing worship songs.
Because it speaks to the soul.
Yeah, I like singing worship songs. Yeah, I feel like that's where I grew my confidence from. People telling you can do this, and anytime, especially when you are singing, you can leave church and your pockets are filled with money, like it's full. It builds
That was also your inspiration.
Yeah, like I was like, no, it means I'm doing something right. I'm touching people's hearts.
Right.
With just my voice, not even with my songs or writing. I think that's where it grew.
Right.
That audience actually built me.
Maybe if I had followed my heart, I would have been a musician by now.
Why didn't you?
Because I
follow
used
that?
to, like music. I'll be writing some things that, God.
Why not?
It's never too late.
No,
it's
no,
never
it's
too
not too
late.
late.
Yeah. Now let's talk about your recent project. Okay.
Yeah.
I know of Paradise. Can you tell us how this one came about? Your inspiration for writing up this very song? Yeah.
Paradise.
I don't know if you can have it displayed so we can take a listen.
Okay.
No, you want to hear Paradise. Tell us all about it. Don't cry, you. Tell us.
You know, we all think paradise is a place, right? But what if paradise had a face? Like, you met a girl and you thought paradise, like one day I'm going to paradise, but you said, I've met my paradise. That experience, that's what I was talking about.
And then this your paradise, dear. Is she in human form?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I get where you're coming from.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's an experience.
Right.
And I penned it down. Yeah.
That's all the story.
That's the story.
You're not hiding anything from us.
No, the song is even self-explanatory. Yeah, I'm not hiding anything.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
But if you had, the opportunity to collaborate with someone in the music industry, like in Ghana here, who would it be? Or let's say you are supposed to, somebody's supposed to do like a remix on this particular one. Who are you going to feature?
No, guess, like who?
Please, I don't want to mention it.
Oh, mention someone.
Okay, let me try. You mentioned what's the name? Wizkid.
Wizkid, eh? No, like in Ghana.
In Ghana. Who is it going to be? Kojo Black?
Kojo, yeah. It can be Kojo.
It can be Kojo Black.
Yeah, but I was...
Because the song, I don't know.
People are actually telling me, like in my DMs and
if
comments.
If you had to do like a remix.
Put Kojo Black on. He's my brother. He will do it. Don't worry.
Oh yes, Kojo Black. If you are seeing us this morning, yeah, we need you on this. And maybe Last Mid.
Good. Good.
And then who again?
Let's see. Kinata.
Are you a tardy boy? Are you fancy now?
Mommy.
What about you?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm from Begro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
You know
This is a very, I don't know there. I'm yet to travel to Begro. But yeah, this is a very interesting song. How long has it been?
It's not up to 6 months.
It's not up to 6 months. And it's really doing well,
Like 4
honestly.
to 5 months, yeah.
Honestly. So right now, I feel, aside music, we know you to be a songwriter. We know you to be a dancer. We'll not take that out. That one,
No.
we'll not take that one
I
out.
still
Because
dance.
it adds up and
I still dance.
It adds up, yeah. So apart from music, apart from you being a songwriter, apart from you being a dancer, who is Afel? Who is Afel? We want to know you. Your fans want to know you this morning.
You want to know me?
Yeah, they want to know you.
Okay. So I feel like Afel is this calm energy. You know, you don't actually see me until you hear me. Because I'm very calm.
Right.
Like in real life. You know, yeah. I'm this calm energy. And if you say apart from music, I think I've lived with music for so long, I can't like remove it out of my life. It's part of me. You know. So I feel it's this calm energy that is actually bringing calm vibes to people. Yeah.
And we like your vibes.
You like my vibes?
Yeah, I like your vibes.
Oh, nice.
In Aka Ebenezer's voice. Right. So I thought this morning, what message do you have for, young creatives, entering fresh? What do you have for them this morning?
Wow. Young creatives.
Yeah. Because you earlier in your earlier submission, you made mention of like the kind of the industry is kind of saturated, like a lot of people, a lot of people. So people don't even know whether they are surviving or not. So it has come to a matter of like trial luck. Okay, we try not say fadia and one or no. But this morning, what's one message that you have for them?
Okay. Yeah. So what's even like the title of what we are doing? There's something for it.
The show.
Yeah.
Koko that is morning show.
And I name Anto Koko.
Oh, Koko is true.
Okay, so I feel like every young artist out there, because I'm young myself, I'm still learning. We just have to stay true to ourselves. You know, if we are going to break through the industry, like if we are going to break through all this chaos, I think we need to stand out. Right. Just be yourself. Don't try to be like someone else, because everybody's journey is different. Right. You know, the growth, the success, it can't be like immediate all the time. It takes time, but unfortunately, people give up before they even see results. Yeah, so we just have to have discipline, because when you are putting out content, music, creating stuff, and at that point when you feel like nobody is watching, that's when it's building momentum, you know. So it's all about discipline, trusting what you are doing, and believing in the process. Yeah, and it will work, I think. Yeah.
Preach. So where can people find you? Like on social media? Where can they stream your music? Yeah.
My music is everywhere.
MTN,
Apple Music, anywhere, YouTube, even WhatsApp. My music is everywhere. Just check me out. AFEL. Afel. Yeah.
Right. Viewers, this morning we've been talking to Afel, who is a musician, a songwriter, and a dancer. I'm sure you've heard his story, and you can also, go to his page. You can go on social media, give him a follow, and he's doing amazing stuff, as you all saw this morning. So yeah, go and then look for Afel and his music. And next, Afel, we say thank you so much for being there. We are blessed to have you.
Blessed to be here.
Right. Next is a birthday segment, so make sure you stay with us. We have some amazing celebrants we want to celebrate this morning, so don't go anywhere. Make sure you are staying tuned. We'll be back shortly after this break.
I heard today was your birthday.
Okay, so this is from Mr. and Mrs. Ankara to Jamari Ni Ankara. Jamari Ni Ankara. And they're saying, 365 days ago, you changed our lives forever. Your first smile, your first steps, your first dada and mama. We've treasured every moment. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. We are so proud to be your parents. Happy birthday, son. May your life be full of joy, health, and purpose. This is from your parents and to Jamari Ni Ankara. Happy birthday going to Jamal Ni Ankara. Happy birthday, dear. And this is from Joycelyn. This is from Joycelyn to his son. He's saying that Sir. This is from Joycelyn to Sir Blessed Dashi, saying that sending a very special belated birthday shout out to MCP, wishing you a fantastic birthday filled with joy, success, and great moments. Happy birthday going to you from Joycelyn to Sir Blessed Dashi. And this is from With Love from Jewel to Portia and Paula. Oh, the twins celebrating their birthday. Wishing you both a day full of laughter, love, and unforgettable moments. May this new year bring you double the joy, success, and all the beautiful things you deserve. Keep shining and celebrating life in your unique ways. Happy birthday to you, Portia and Paula. This coming from Jewel. And happy birthday to Emanuela Acha of All Souls Baptist Church Youth. And this is coming from All Souls Baptist Youth and from me as well. Today is all about celebrating you and your beautiful heart, your strength, your kindness, and the amazing person you continue to become. I pray this new chapter brings you endless joy, growth, favor, and unforgettable moments. May God guide your steps, open doors for you, and bless you beyond your expectations. You deserve all the happiness and in the world and more. Happy birthday going to you, Noel. And this is from Koko Daja's Morning Show team of Clock TV to Mr. Solomon Ajao, the General Secretary of Ghana Nurses and Midwives Association. May the good Lord continue to enlarge your coast with blessings in Jesus' name. Happy birthday to you, Mr. Solomon Ajao, of General Secretary of Ghana Nurses and Midwives Association. Right. So we'd like to end the show with one of the songs from Afel. So make sure you enjoy it. Up for lifestyle on the Koko Direct Morning Show today. My name once again is Annabelle Beverly Ejabia, and I did this with Afel Music. Yeah, next in line is the business segment with Peter Kojo Insia. Make sure you are stay tuned for the rest of the show.
Hello there, good morning to you and welcome. This is the Business Update segment of the Koko Digest Morning Show. I am Peter Ntia. Now to our stories. Ghana continues to depend heavily on imports to meet the growing demand for food and consumer goods, with China remaining its largest source of supplies. Data from the Ghana Statistical Service shows that China accounted for 14.3 billion Ghana cedis of Ghana's total imports in the fourth quarter of 2025. Representing 23.3% of all goods brought into the country. Other key suppliers included the United States, the Netherlands, Belgium, and Nigeria, highlighting Ghana's reliance on a small group of countries for essential imports such as food products and agricultural inputs.
Overall, the country's import bills stood at 61.4 billion Ghana cedi during the period, driven by demand for fuel, machinery, vehicles, and consumer goods. Although Ghana recorded a trade surplus, exports remain heavily concentrated in raw materials such as gold and cocoa, while the country continued to depend on imports for finished and semi-processed goods. The figures raise fresh concerns about Ghana's reliance on global markets for food security and slow pace of local production and import substitution.
Away from that story, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, has revised Ghana's economic growth forecast for 2026 upward to 4.8%, slightly above its earlier 4.6% projection. The adjustment reflects stronger than expected performance under the current IMF program, an improved economic outlook, and the government's continued commitment to fiscal discipline. The revised estimate also matches the government's 2026 budget projection.
Overall, the country's import bills stood at 61.4 billion.
Despite Ghana's improved outlook, the IMF has lowered the global growth forecast to 3.1% for 2026, citing uncertainty caused by the ongoing conflicts in the Middle East and its possible effects on inflation, trade, and financial markets. The fund, however, expects global growth to recover in 2027. On inflation, the IMF projects Ghana will end 2026 at 7.9%, slightly below the government's target, with inflation expected to remain in single digits through 2027. Similarly, the World Bank has projected 4.8% growth for Ghana in 2026, whilst estimating inflation at 9%, though external pressure such as rising petroleum gases remain key risks.
On to our last story, the government of Ghana has announced a temporary intervention aimed at cushioning consumers against rising petroleum prices on the international market. Effective April 16, 2026, that is today, the government will absorb 2 Ghana cedis per litre on diesel and 36 pesos per litre on petrol. The move is intended to ease the burden on household, transport operators, and businesses amid global oil market volatility that has pushed up ex-pump prices locally. There's more to this. According to a statement issued by Government Communications, the decision, approved by Cabinet, will remain in force for 1 month as authorities maintain developments in global crude oil prices. The government says it will continue to assess the situation and consider further policy adjustment if necessary. It further reiterated its commitment to maintaining price stability, protecting livelihoods, and supporting Ghana's broader economic recovery in the face of external shocks. According to Let's now bring in Mr. Paul Nimo, who is the head of research at OPEC. Good morning to you, sir, and many thanks for joining us on the Business Update segment of the Koko Digest Morning Show.
Well, good morning to you, but I'm struggling to...
Hello, sir.
Yes, hi.
Please, is it clear now?
Well, I can manage it. Let's manage and go on, yeah.
All right, so thank you very much for joining us this morning. We want to take your initial reaction to government's decision to absorb 2 Ghana cedis per litre on diesel and 30 pesos per litre on petrol.
Well, it comes in as good news. I mean, we had our own expectations, that notwithstanding the intervention where that 2 litre is still coming in handy, especially with the diesel, quite significant, and that will make the consumer better off, when we go to fuel up today. So even though we are not going to see much in terms of the petrol's intervention, be that as it may, it will bring some level of stability at the pumps. We are not going to see any major increments, as far as export prices at the pumps are concerned. So we are excited. We want to applaud the government for the initiative. It would have been a prayer that better yet 50 pesos or maybe a cedi or more would have been done with the petrol. That notwithstanding, we still appreciate government for its effort.
All right. So to my next question, how significant is this relief for consumers at the pump?
Yes. When you look at the projections for this very window, we're starting today, all the indicators were pointing that we're going to see diesel rise to some 21 cedis per litre, and then the petrol was also going to inch up a little. By virtue of the intervention, we have seen some oil marketing companies reduce their prices, which used to do 17.1 per litre. For diesel is now being 16.1. That's a whopping 1 cedi reduction in price, which is quite significant for commercial drivers and other industries. And so it comes in as good news for end users, who will be patronizing HUO as far as this pricing window is concerned. The petrol, on the other hand, is not doing much. However, we've seen that GOIL has reduced its price by some 3 pesos per litre, doing that 13 cedis, 27 pesos per litre. So it brought some level of stability, at the pumps, if you ask me. So that intervention really came in handy.
All right, thank you very much. So you admitting that it's very significant to commercial drivers. Do you expect this intervention to lead to an immediate reduction in transport fares and the cost of goods and services?
I wouldn't say a reduction in transport fares. However, I know they have the intention to increase or adjust transport fares. With this intervention, I have heard the GPRT and other concerned drivers also indicate their willingness to suspend any intention of theirs to, as it were, adjust transport fares upwards. And so that was a good one. We are just hoping that perhaps government will consider increasing the duration from the current 4 weeks to maybe 8 weeks, just so we can water down whatever may happen on the global market, since we do not really know or see any end in sight as far as the war is concerned. So that is something perhaps the government can take a second look at, will be very helpful for all of us as consumers.
All right, so let's go back to better appreciate this. Well, let's go back. How much pressure had global crude oil prices been placing on ex-pump prices before this very intervention?
Well, thank you. You recall that before the war started, the FOBs were doing what petrol was doing some 580, diesel was doing 700 metric ton, gas or LPG was doing somewhere around 508. And now, when you look at the figures, the indicators are really not in our favor, if I should say. Diesel is now seeing some $1,500 per metric ton. That's about over 100% increment over there. Petrol, which was $568,600, is also now doing $1,001 per metric ton. Gas from $500 is also now $900 per metric ton. So all the indicators have skyrocketed, and they are not in favor of us as a country, which is a net importing country. So there's a lot of pressure on both BDC, oil marketing companies, to stay afloat. Some of them have had to shelve their margins just so they can stay in business, and also shoulder some of the burdens, from consumers and lighten their burdens on that score. So had it not been the intervention, believe you me, this pricing window, we would have seen diesel doing some 21 cedis per liter at the pumps. But because of the intervention, the tax and levy, which used to be 4 cedis 25%, is now 2 cedis 25%. That's almost about 50% reduction in taxes, on diesel. And that, again, is going to inure to the benefit of the average user or consumer.
All right, then for education purposes, people are arguing, or they are asking the question that why does significant reduction on diesel and not petrol? Because a lot of people tend to use petrol. In terms of numbers, when you consider the number of people that uses petrol and diesel outnumbers the number of people that uses petrol. So why does significant reduction on diesel and not petrol?
Well, we are yet to get a response from government on that score. However, the little understanding I know as far as our industry is concerned is that most of commercial drivers or vehicles in Ghana are all using AGO, or if you like, diesel. And then most of our industries are also powered by diesel. So if government intervenes, significantly at that level, then it means that they want industry to flourish. They do not want to overburden industry so much with these cheap prices that we are seeing at the pump. And the need to intervene to see how best they can soften down their burden by reducing the taxes, from 40 to 25% to now 2 cities 25%. And again, just a few of the commercial vehicles that uses petrol. Majority, I can say, uses the diesel. The VIP stock of them, and then the others. So it's coming in handy for them. And right. I'm excited that the government has seen the need to do that, on behalf of consumers.
All right. So before you go, let's take a look at the sustainability aspect of it. From your assessment, is this a sustainable measure, considering it is expected to last for only 1 month, or you foresee, government reviewing this?
Well, like I indicated earlier, we would have wished that government rather made it 8 weeks, because what it means is that for this very window and the next window beginning May, this intervention would have ended. We would have wished that government takes a second look at this intervention by perhaps extending the duration from the current 4 weeks to some 8 weeks. That would give that room for some level of stability at the pump should the war come to an end. As it stands, really, there is no end in sight, so it's difficult to really point to anything to say that the war is ending tomorrow or next week, just so we know prices can be stabilized. But as it stands, it's difficult to tell. So we would have wished that government reconsider this decision to making it just 4 weeks, meaning this very window and the next window we are expecting in May, and at the end of the intervention. So we hope that as it reviews its policies, we hope that it will also consider this and extend the time from the 4 weeks to some 8 weeks.
All right, so before you go, do you foresee any challenges in the implementation of this temporary price? And also another question, in terms of revenue, with this initiative, how much in your view, is government going to lose in terms of revenue? Or this deduction was based on, margins, and so this, if in case there is a loss, it is going to affect the stakeholders. How do you see this?
Well, I don't see any issue with the implementation of this intervention. Oil marketing companies, all they need to do is to reduce the tax component. So the 4 cedis 27 pesos per liter on petrol is now going to be 3 cedis 99 pesos. The diesel, which used to be 4 cedis 25, is also now going to be 2 cedis 25. All they need to do is just impute these taxes, on the price they are taking from the BDCs, and that will give us the ex-refinery price. So that should not be a difficulty for these marketers who have been operating, over the last decade and what have you. So that should not be a problem at all. Again, in terms of revenue, I am aware that the Energy Ministry has indicated that Ghana will be losing between 100 to $200 million. CDs, as far as this intervention is concerned. But you see, there is a need to give at some point, because if this intervention does not come in, it means transport fares will be going up, general goods and services will also be going up, and almost all the positive feedback in terms of the economy will be eroded. Your inflation will be going up, exchange rates will be hit, and all of that. So it's losing at some end and then also gaining at some other side. The other side is that government will also be earning, more from the upstream side with our crude exports. Mind you, crude, which used to be $70 per barrel, is now doing a little over $100 per barrel. That's some windfall that will cushion government in terms of its losses, within the downstream. So it shouldn't really affect government projects or its fiscal regime so much. I believe that the little it is spending on consumers will also be gained at the upstream side to cover up for whatever losses that has been made.
All right, sir. So before you go, your last words to our viewers watching you this morning.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
I was asking of your final words before you leave us.
Well, consumers should be excited, especially for diesel users who will be going to the pumps this morning. I'm sure they will be smiling, bearing in mind that there's some level of reduction, in fact, significant reduction for those users. And we hope that the government will be doing more of it. And it shouldn't just be a stopgap measure, but then if government really wants us to be self-sufficient, self-reliant, then there's a need for us to invest in the operations of coal, invest in the operations of bus, so that we can expand infrastructure and then begin operations at store, and we can rely on whatever we produce in our country without relying on the global market and its exigence.
Thank you very much, Mr. Paul Ofori, for your time with us this morning. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, too, Troy.
And that is Mr. Paul Ofori, Head of Research at COPEC, who gave us some overview of this new initiative. And so going forward today, oil prices, fuel prices have been reduced. And so if you go there to get fuel or diesel for yourself, make sure you check for that as well. And this has been the Business Update segment on the Koko Digest Morning Show. Thank you for sticking and staying with us. I am Peter Nsia. Up next is Sports with Benedict Nketia Kwatin. Please stay with us.
morning and welcome back to the Sports Update segment on your favorite morning show, Koko Digest Morning Show. And as usual, I am your host for today, Benedict Nketia Kwating. And you know, over here we bring you nothing but the best in the world of sports, and we are covering all the action, both local and international. And it's been a very great week so far, heartbreaking for some football fans, myself, and then my colleagues, the Catalan family, and of course, the Madridistas out there. It's been heartbreaking for those of us from Spain. Over the week, we saw some Champions League games being played out and all. In this story for today, we'll talk about some of the games that went on. But before then, let us just look at our first stories, our main stories for today. So we are talking about our local league, and then let's talk about our women's World Cup qualifier, the under 17 women's World Cup qualifier. So yes, the GFA boss, so under 17 women's World Cup qualifier, the GFA boss motivates Black Maidens ahead of second league clash against Togo. So over on Sunday, past Sunday, our Black Maidens traveled all the way to Togo to play the under-17s Women's World Cup qualifiers, where we scored 2 goals against the Togolese ladies. So we have a second leg that is going to be played on Sunday, 3 p.m. at the Accra Sports Stadium. But before then, the GFA boss had to visit the ladies and motivate them, encourage them, and of course strengthen them and boost their morale in their preparation towards the second leg. So Kaito Kreku, that's the president of the Ghana Football Association, went on ahead to visit the ladies to boost their morale ahead of their crucial second leg FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup qualifier against Togo. And then it's quite interesting because looking at the games the ladies have been playing and their preparation so far, they've been doing very well. It was quite a very tough game all the way in Togo, but the ladies came out victorious. The brace was scored by Priscilla Mensah, putting the maidens in a commanding position ahead of the return fixture. Hopefully on Sunday they will be able to retain the lead, or of course score more goals, because we expect them to score more goals. We expect to be entertained. I want to use this opportunity to urge our viewers out there, Guinean football fans out there, those of us in Accra, those of us far away in Accra, if you can come around on Saturday to support these ladies. They are just 17 years and below, so that means they need the support, they need the encouragement from us football fans out there. Let us come in our numbers to support these ladies in the preparation towards the Under-17 FIFA World Cup. Our next story for today is a local story, which is is in relation to one of the trending stories that we've been talking about for the past week, where one footballer was shot over an attack by armed robbers when they were returning back home. So the IGP has issued a command. He has assigned armed police officers to escort GPL clubs. This is a report by the IGP media team. So the IGP has instructed, that is Christian Tete Yohonu, has instructed all regional and district commanders to assign armed police escorts to clubs competing in the GPL after the tragic killing of Dominic Frimpong, one of the promising footballers we have out there forward. He's actually a very good player. Unfortunately, they were attacked. Their team bus, that's the Brecum Chelsea's team bus, was attacked by armed robbers whilst they were returning home after a fixture against FC Samatex. And then we know the story, we know what happened. But now, at least we've heard some good news. Where this morning I read somewhere they've been able to arrest some of the people who attacked the footballers on their way back. Hopefully they'll be able to get all the perpetrators. But now, the initiative that's been taken by IGP Yohonu is to get police escorts, to assign police escorts to our footballers when they go out there to play, and then when they are returning home, so that they can be protected. Because it's not easy. You are working, and then out of this work is how you're able to feed your family. For you to go all the way and then do not come back is quite sad and heartbreaking. Thank you, Yohonu, for this initiative, and then we hope that it will continue. It will not be a one-night stand. It will not be a just one-day wonder for these footballers out there. And our next story, yes, this is partly the World Cup and partly the Champions League that was played. Yeah, so one of the key figures of the Champions League, one of the key strikers for France national team, and of course Liverpool, Hugo Ekitike, yes, the only player whose name can be reversed and will still sound the same, is set to miss World Cup after a devastating Achilles injury. Yeah, so over on Tuesday, their fixture against PSG, unfortunately, Ekitike had an injury, an Achilles injury. It's quite a serious injury, even though they are trying to downplay the injury to make it seem like it is not. But yes, we know about Achilles injuries and the impact it can lay on the footballer. And this Hugo will be out for close to 9 months. And in 9 months, if you're out for 9 months, that means you're going to miss the World Cup games that is going to be played. Unfortunately, this comes as a major blow to both Liverpool and of course the France national team. The France national team is one of the teams that has the biggest depth. When you're talking about in-depth players, when you're talking about with the World Cup in consideration, you have about 6 to 7 sets of 11 players that are ready to play for the national team. So the France national team are actually ready. But even though they have lots of in-depth, they have squad depth and all, there are some players who are ahead of some players. And Hugo Ekitike is one of them. We're hoping to see him in this World Cup because he's one of the promising stars. Unfortunately, he has to miss out the World Cup after this injury. We wish him the very best, and we hope that he can return back. As for Liverpool, they are done. They are done. So yes, we'll see what can come out of him. Now let's move on to the main story for today. That is the UEFA Champions League quarterfinals that went on over the week on Tuesday, and then of course last night. Yes, so the first match on Tuesday that was played was between Atletico de Madrid versus my very own Barcelona, where Barcelona won by 2-1, but on aggregate, Atletico won by 3-2 because they won 2-0 against Barcelona at the Camp Nou, Spotify Camp Nou. So in on aggregate, Atletico Madrid qualifies 3-2, and then Liverpool, the last but one story we just mentioned, against PSG, they lost by 2-0, and on aggregate, PSG winning by 4-0 because they won. They won 2-0 on the first leg that was played in Paris Saint-Germain, that is in France. And then back in away they were able to Ousmane Dembele, of course, scored against Liverpool again, a brace against Liverpool. And then yesterday, yes, one of the most entertaining football that was played yesterday in the history of Champions League. And now let me tell you something. If you are a football fan, regardless of the team you support, and you wasted last night to watch Arsenal and Sporting CP, I'm telling you on all accounts that you missed one of the best entertaining football games you would have witnessed in your lifetime. Regardless of the team you support, I'm a Barcelona fan. I never have anything to do with Real Madrid. But for the sake of football, for the love of football, I just decided to watch the game between Bayern Munich and Real Madrid, and it was very entertaining. Bayern Munich emerged winners, winning 4-3 against Real Madrid, and aggregate 6-4. Yes, then one of the most boring games. So Arsenal against CP, as being shown on our screen, emerged 0-0, where Arsenal won by 1-0 on aggregate. So Arsenal moves on to the next stage of the competition. But that game between Arsenal and then Sporting CP had the lowest viewership when you are talking about in terms of Champions League viewership in history. That's 5 million viewers. Can you imagine Champions League 5 million, the whole world? It's never heard of. But yes, it's part of football. Hopefully, things can turn around when we are talking about Arsenal, when we're talking about Sporting CP. We know Sporting CP, this is not their kind of game. So this is virtually Arsenal, and this is what they had to do. And you have to do what you have to do to qualify. And this is what they had to do to qualify. So congratulations to Arsenal, congratulations to Bayern Munich, congratulations to Atletico de Madrid, and congratulations to Paris Saint-Germain. And so the next semi-final games we have is PSG versus Bayern Munich. Yes, Ousmane Dembele versus Olise, and then Griezmann, that is Atletico de Madrid against Arsenal. Yes, the haram football. So we'll be watching on one side, we'll be watching the most entertaining football again, and then on the other side, we are going to watch another set of haram football. So two haram teams will be playing themselves, and then we'll see who will emerge the winners. Yes. So congratulations to these 4 teams, and they made the best man win. And on Sunday, one of the fixtures that is coming up is, yes, the EPL. We have Manchester City playing Arsenal again, one of the key determinants for who wins the Premier League. A month ago, we saw Arsenal prevailing and then competing for 4 trophies, and now there's just 2 on their hand. And yes, Sunday will be a determinant to see if they are still in the race for the EPL. And then, of course, the La Liga. I cannot go without talking about the La Liga. Real Madrid is going trophyless season once again. This is the second time in a season, the second time in 2 years where they are going trophyless after the signing of all these Galacticos. I don't know, at this point, I don't know the difference between Real Madrid, Manchester United, Chelsea, all the teams that signed, that wasted money to sign players out there. You know, there was no point because you are going trophyless. You are not taking anything home to support and to entertain your fans and then make merry and all. But then yes, this is football. It happens. It happens. Just as Barcelona is going the 12th time where they've not won the Champions League. It happens. This is football, and this is how entertaining it can be. Last night there was NBA, where we saw Steph Curry coming up again, scoring 35 points. This is one of the most entertaining parts in basketball we are seeing. We hope that it will prevail. We'll continue to see more good players out there. There is a lot that can be spoken about, but time is not on our side. So I would like to end here. Thank you very much for sticking and staying with us. This is the sports update segment on your favorite morning show, the Koko Digest Morning Show. And as usual, I am your host, Benedict Nketia Kwatin. Next is the main segment.
You're welcome back to the Koko Digest Morning Show, and if you're just tuning in, it's time for the extended version of the online imprint review. I have my co-host here with me in the persons of Peter Nsia and Bevelyn Annabelle. Yes, earlier we were talking about some of the trending issues, and we're going to proceed to continue with the trending issues. And you can send in your comments to the WhatsApp number displayed onto your screens or to the YouTube or Facebook live stream. And when the phone lines are opened, I will do well to alert you so you can call and weigh in on some of the pressing issues we'll be discussing. So, yes, we were talking about a few trends before we had to take a break for the rest of the segments to come through. So, continuing with that, I think the last thing we spoke about was the bins and the protest against the bins, that they were blocking the frontages of some shops. So do you have any more trends before we go into what I have here?
For now, no.
For now, no. Okay, so quickly into what I have. We have the GIS launched a street sweep in Accra to rescue vulnerable persons. Now, the GIS in this case is the Ghana Immigration Service. So the Ghana Immigration Service has revealed plans to undertake a focused enforcement exercise in the Greater Accra region to tackle street begging and ensure compliance with immigration laws. In a statement released on April 14, the Ghana Immigration Service said the planned operation will prioritize rescuing vulnerable individuals, especially children, and those involved in exploitative begging, while also tracking down and arresting undocumented immigrants. So, yes, they're going to do another street sweep. The immigrants, the little kids that have been, put on the streets to beg, and it's quite sad to see them, because sometimes I'm like, these children should be in school. Imagine having to be going through this the whole day, and imagine the kinds of dangers they are exposed to, even the sun, their health.
Last year's activity was massive. Last year, May 16th, May 17th, thereabouts, the GIS embarked on, that same street exercise, clearing beggars and unlawful immigrants from the street. It is a good initiative, because a whole lot have been complaining about these, kids. It's not kids alone, especially women. We hardly see the men. We see the kids and then the women on the street, like you said, exposing themselves to danger and many others. And so this exercise, I would say, it's a good one. And we've been seeing this. But I think that there is more we have to do as a country in order to avert these people from coming.
Right.
There is something that we can do that we wouldn't be seeing these people on our streets. And so that is by strengthening our regional borders.
Okay.
You understand? So in as much as, we are part of ECOWAS, and with ECOWAS, all member countries, you can go to any country without, visa and all of that. And that doesn't warrant that you don't go through the right processes.
Right.
When you're part of ECOWAS, you can easily go to another, country which is a member of, the ECOWAS community. But it doesn't mean that when you go there, you have, you can spend 90 days. And then after that 90 days, that is where you decide whether you will stay or you want to go. So when you want to stay, you have to do the paperwork, the legal documentation, and what have you. And so I think that in order to avert or to prevent this streetism, street children and women on our street, we should tackle it from our borders. The regional integration, we should tackle it from our borders. Before they come in, we have to check them from the borders before they come in. And so that when they come in and they are going out, or if they come and they are not going, we can, find them. And I think that we should make good use of technology. So we can have a digitalized system that has, everyone coming in everyone coming in. Because right now, I can challenge them by saying that they don't even know the number of, people coming in every day and out. And so I think we should tighten our borders and also ensure that we get all these people on a digital platform that we can be able to assess them, know the number of people who are in and the day or the days that are left for them to go out. And then if they want to embark on any paperwork, we do it in order to prevent that. Because sometimes it's so sad. The last time I witnessed one at Kaneshi, I was on my way coming to work. The rate at which these officers were, taking them out of the street, it was sad. But then, on the other hand, it's for their safety.
Yeah.
Apart from they begging, they are exposed to risk. Cars, motors, and whatever. Even the younger ones, they are being exploited to do a whole lot of things. And so I think it's a very good initiative. But then we should tackle it from the root cause so that we wouldn't be spending money doing all these things every now and then.
Peter has already, said what's on my mind, because this is not the first time we are seeing Ghana Immigration Service, enforcing these laws. But what is the point if we are not able to, as Peter will say always, that we are not able to tackle it from the very grassroots? What is causing them to, migrate from wherever they are, coming in, and they have to take them back, and you realize that they keep coming. Like we see them. After a while, we take them back. After a while, we see them, coming back to the country. So I think there should be, stricter law enforcement at the various borders to prevent them from, coming. Because it's sad. It's quite sad. You go to the markets and they're everywhere, begging. And even, who knows? Like right now in the country, like we have a lot of social vices around. You don't know even if they grow up. We don't even see them in schools. How do we see these people in schools? And it's a whole lot of issues.
All right. So we have a video from Channel 1. It's just about the same issue. So let's take a look and then get back into the conversation.
Get up. Get up. Sit down. Come and sit here. Hey, okay, come here, all of you. I said sit down. I want to see you. Come forward. Come out of where you are. Come. Madam. Go inside the car. No, you put these things inside. So if you go. Hey, you're not carrying them.
Right, so that was the video by Channel 1 TV on some of the ways they are, transporting these people back to their home countries. But I have a series of questions to you, the viewers, and to my colleagues here. And my very first question is that what exactly happens after these people are picked up? What exactly happens when they are taken away? Do our officers make sure that each of these persons are taken to their homes? Because when you are looking at it from the fact that, even though we'll come to that later, it could also be that they are part of a syndicate. There's a kingpin somewhere who has, so to say, employed these people and their parents to work for them to get money. So is it that, our officers are also making sure that these people get home to their families and are taken out of any crime syndicates and something, along those lines?
Yeah, it's like we keep repeating the cycle. Okay, it's like we keep going around the orbit. We keep treating the symptoms. We just want it to happen. Like, see a lot of them on the streets before we take a look. Oh, these people have to be deported back to their homes and everything. But I remember somewhere earlier, late in December, I happened to interview one lady who was coming from the north, Wale. And apparently, how the story went, it seems like some of them even travel all the way from their hometowns and come to Accra without their parents' consent. Some of them come in just because they want to have a feel of how the city feels like Accra. So with this issue, somebody coming, look at the journey from the north to this place. Sampak of Burkina, like, look at the journey from this place to this place.
It also links back to our cultural practices, some of them, because I know when it comes to, let's say, even using what we have in the country as kaya, most of them are young ladies who were probably traded into marriages at very early ages and run away. Then there's also the fact that poverty. So Accra is where all the money is, apparently. So coming to see greener pastures. But then also, when these people are taken back, let's say the ones from the other countries, is there anything done to make sure they are safe, that they don't return? That's one question I'm asking all of us. And then, like I said, we're treating the symptoms. And then also, even here, like the people from the north and all of that's fine, you've been identified. Have there been any rehabilitation, institutions put together to, house these people, take care of them, try to find better, living conditions for them? Or is just clear them off the streets? After the hype dies down, they come back.
I think that's a question for AMA Social Welfare. I think we'll have to find them. And then,
as part of the communique released by JIS, they indicated that they are not just only going to take them away, but they are going to make provisions, support, and what have you. Those that need to go back to their country, they are going to make the provisions for them. So they don't just pick them from the street and just dump them somewhere. They pick them, take them through interrogations, get to find out where each and everyone is coming from, which country they are coming from, and what have you, and then check their status, whether they are legally, they have the legal right to stay in the country. If not, then they make the necessary, things to repatriate, take them back to their country. Okay. And those that need support they give them the support. So they indicated in their communique. Okay. And then, so you made mention of a long-term rehabilitation system. What our issue currently is about, we not having a strong long-term rehabilitation system. So like Beverly said, we do this, they go through all the screening and what have you, they go back and then they come again. You understand? And so it's high time we get a strong long-term rehabilitation system so that when we pick them from the street, we do the necessary things so that when they go, they don't come back again. And then I made mention of the regional and border level coordination, especially with neighboring countries to reduce irregular entry before it reaches to the street. So once that coordination is tight, we wouldn't find these people on the street. But then when it comes to within, just like we made mention, the people from northern region coming to
or even
Ghana, other regions, coming to Ghana, we know how to deal with that internally because once we identify you, you're able to talk, we take you back to your route, we do the necessary. If it is money that you need, you are supposed to go to school. And this is where I say that there should be more of education so that the social welfare and other institutions will get to know of this. And so once you find some of these people on the streets, you easily know which institution to take them to seek help for them.
Right.
And so going forward, there should be more of education and awareness creation so that apart from those from different regions, that the immigration service is enforcing the immigration laws. Some others are saying it's an abuse. This is not abuse. They are enforcing the immigration laws. In as much as you are part of ECOWAS and you can enter in another country free, it doesn't mean that you should do away with the laws. There are laws. And so these are the laws, immigration laws that they are enforcing. And so this is not harassment. This is not an abuse.
Right.
And then before I end to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs released a communique that effective 25th of May, they are going to give free visas to African countries. And that has also created a whole lot of, brouhaha on the
Another
internet.
conversation on its own.
Talking about security when it comes to irregular migration and what have you. But the minister too has been speaking. I don't know if you have the video where he was explaining the difference between visa-free and free visa. I don't know if you have time that we can go through, but then if...
Well, I think that we'll put a pin in that and continue with the fact that I also have another question, which is that the Ghana Immigration Service, this is not the first time they're embarking on this exercise, right? So do they have data on the past ones? And what are some of the measurements and analysis they've done as to how effective this exercise has been? So let's say in 2025, maybe January of 2025, they did some expatriations and maybe the return rate dropped or something, or it increased. We should see some of this information so we know that, okay, this process is the best way to go, or this needs some work done or something. Do you think there's anything like that? Have you come across that?
For now, I doubt. Even if they have, I don't think it covers this aspect of it. And so that is what most people are also calling for, that there should be a stronger data and tracking system, like you rightly said, so that it wouldn't be a repetition.
Okay.
Once you do it, you get to find out, when we did it here, this has been the successful rate. And so when we apply it here, you experience the same thing. Yesterday, I think I was talking to somebody about this same situation that, so I've not been seeing these street beggars as compared to the early part of 2025. And the person said, maybe it is in your area.
They
are still around.
Because I feel like sometimes when they come, because they know they've been picked from Kanishi, they'll not go to Kanishi.
There, okay.
No, that's smart. They are humans.
Yeah,
they'll look for another way. And what even baffles me is that you don't even see some of these people in this elite neighborhoods. You don't see them there.
Yeah, those places are a little more security conscious, obviously. So seeing people loitering around, you will be questioned because it is a security issue as well. This whole thing is a national security issue. But even before we get into that too, you were talking about enforcing the law and that, yes, you were mentioning ECOWAS and the rest. But Ghana and Nigeria have had this, retaliatory thing happen where there was a Ghana must go thing. Even though it's not necessarily the same thing, do you think that there is a likelihood that these countries that these people come from would start to feel as though Ghanaians are being xenophobic or even discriminatory towards them because of the fact that for the hyperbole effect, for every 5 minutes we are repatriating, other foreign nationals back into their countries? Do you think it's going to affect our relations with other countries?
Not at all. Not at all, because every country has its own immigration laws.
Okay.
And we have ours. And that is why we are just enforcing our laws. And then per the ECOWAS whole thing, when you enter a country, so citizens enter other member states without a visa for up to 90 days.
Up to 90 days.
So after that 90 days, if you want to stay, you have to register with immigration authorities and obtain residence permit or work permits. Once you do that, you don't have any problem with anyone. But if you exceed that 90 days and then you don't register with the immigration authorities and you try to do hide and seek, you want to stay in the country illegally, that is where, when they come for you, it is in the law. It wouldn't be that we are trying to no. We are just enforcing the laws. And ECOWAS, according to it says 90 days in the country without visa. So after 90 days, once it elapses and you want to continue to be in the country, just go to the immigration offices and register, obtain your permit, and you can freely embark on whatever thing that you have. And so we have so many other, people from different countries who are embarking
especially
on
in the
businesses
neighboring
here. Yes. Some are staying here legally, but others are staying here illegally, unlawfully. And this is the reason why GIS is, embarking on this exercise. So it's not only for the street beggars that we are seeing. Right. We have other campaigns somewhere in the, areas.
That is where the issue should be tracked from, just like the Galamsey thing.
Yeah.
All the time, it is the workers that are being picked. But who is financing this thing? At the very root of it, who is the one in charge of this thing that if these workers are taken away, they can employ a new set of people? Because these kids, they are so young and there are so many. You know, I mean, considering the birth rates in Africa in general, people have a lot of kids, but not enough resources to take care of them. So sometimes they end up falling victim to such things, and yet we are picking them, sending them back home. But there is somebody who is saying, I'll pay money and you will go back and work for me. You know, so it's not just, it shouldn't be limited to just picking them off the streets, but finding where all of this is coming from. Because how do you run a business on, this is basically slavery, is it not?
It is. I like the fact that you made mention of national security, that this is a national security issue. So I want to believe that they are in contact with national security, and I'm sure that maybe they had a conversation and they got to realize that, no, at this particular point or at this area, we have these number of people there, so you can enforce the laws over there. So I'm sure that, because they said for security reasons, they are not going to disclose places that they will be going. So I'm sure before this, they've done some form of, research to find out areas that are so, intense that they have to embark on that activity. Yeah.
Then, my last question before we go to the next story is that there are certain parts of Ghana we know that there are borders. But when we look back into history a little bit, you see the partitioning of Africa and all of that. So the Ghanaian border, we know that, yes, we know the shape of Ghana, but it seems as though when we talk about borders, we hear of maybe Aflao, we hear of the far north towards Burkina Faso, we hear of somewhere in the western region. But what about the other towns along the whole, shape or map of Ghana? Is security going to be intensified there? Because there are people whose hometowns are literally a town with the invisible line of Ghana's map right in the middle. So you move left, you are in Togo. You move right, you are in Ghana. Or you move left, you are in Burkina Faso. You move right, you are in Ghana. Or, the same with Cote d'Ivoire. So in that case, how then are we going to be able to strictly say that we are regulating who gets to enter into the country? Because someone can say that just that half of Mikrom were Ghana, half of Mikrom were Togo. So me, I'm in the middle. I can enter as I please. If people are taking advantage of that, where would that lead us?
So I think that it's like when you want to travel from one country to another, before you go for processes, you'll be asked, what are you going to do? How long are you going to spend there? And what have you? So in every border, we have people manning the borders. We have immigration officers there and what have you. And so if you happen to find yourself in those areas, you can't just go in and out. Because you have people, when you want to go in, what exactly are you going to do? How long will it take? I mean, there are specifications, so I don't think that they can take advantage of that.
But I think it all boils down to like our system. If the system are very stricter, I don't think anyone will just wake up and say, I'm coming to Ghana because I think Ghana is just a step away from my house, so I'm coming to Ghana. There should be proper enforcement so that we get to the bottom of these issues.
Okay, so that being said, we'd like to hear from you also, so please do send in your comments to the WhatsApp number displayed onto your screens and to the YouTube or Facebook live stream. The phone lines will be opened very soon, so please stay tuned for that, and then you can call and weigh in on the conversation. Now, the next story is about the unpaid teachers threatening a nationwide protest over outstanding salary arrears. So this is talking about the fact that the national organizer of the Coalition of Unpaid Teachers, Eugene Zoranu Segrefia, stated that members had embarked on an indefinite protest at the Ministry of Finance on Wednesday, April 18th, and if the government failed to present a clear plan for paying their outstanding salary arrears, this is what they're going to be doing. That was the reason. And speaking on a sister station, Mr. Segrefia revealed that some teachers had been working between 7 and 18 months without pay. And he says here, we have teachers who have worked between 7 and 18 months without salaries. As we speak, we do not even know whether the government will fulfill its obligations to us. And my colleague Peter will be speaking with an official here about this same issue. So, Peter, if you can give us a brief overview of what's going to happen with the conversation.
Yes, so the conversation is actually about EduWatch, the one that we'll be having an interaction with the guests is
Right.
about EduWatch, which is they are
That was
proposing
on
that
the sanctioning of the head teachers.
Yes.
Okay.
whose schools will be involved in examination malpractice.
Right.
Yes. But then on this very issue about teachers not being paid,
Mm-hmm.
something that is worrying. And then for the past 1 to 2 years now, it is something that we've been hearing a whole lot. And most of the time, the excuse government officials gives is that they are embarking on a stricter monetary discipline and whatever, something. But the issue about this is that when you take a look at the current number of nurses who are home, who are not employed, and you take a look at those who are already employed, it begs the question that even those who are in the service already, those who are working, you are not paying them, and then you are recruiting another. And at the back of this, there's been recruitment. The portal has been open. It has been closed due to the number of people who are applying. The slot for this recruitment was 7,000, but just 4 or 5 days, the number of people who are applied are over 40,000.
Wow.
You understand?
That's how high the unemployment rate is.
Yes. And so with this, that those who are already in the service are crying and you are employing new ones, it begs the question. So if those who are working are not being paid, these newly recruited ones, how are they going to be paid? And most of the times we tend to misinterpret recruitment and, absorption. When they say people have been recruited, if they say you've been recruited, it means that government, yes, officially selects and posts a teacher to a school. It means that you've been given a new job. And what happens is that you have complete training, you are posted to a school, and you've received appointment or posting details. But at this stage, you are not necessarily being paid yet. It means that your name, you are not on the Controller and Accountant General's department. Your name is not part of the payroll. When you become part of, or when your name becomes part of the payroll, is when that's what we call the absorption. Now you are officially on government salary. And that one too, you have to get some details. Your details, you have to get your staff ID and salary activation. That's when the Ministry of Finance approves payments. And then if you listen to the people rightly, some of them are complaining that they don't even have their staff ID. It means that if you don't even have a staff ID, it means that you cannot be enrolled.
Wow.
You understand? And so it is a whole lot. And then yesterday, according to reports, they actually spoke to the Deputy Minister of Finance, because the Minister of Finance himself is not around, which he says that they are going to start the payment in trenches, in 4 batches. Next month, that is May, they will pay the first one and then it will follow. And so we are hoping that, they will do the right thing, the necessary thing, so that we wouldn't be seeing some of these things, because comparing them to the lessons, they also provide essential services. And already looking at the education sector, there are so many lapses. We need teachers in various schools. Here lies the case, we have the teachers, but we don't have the money to pay them. That has been the issue.
But is it that we don't have the money? Because it seems that when it comes to the health sector and education sector workers, there is always an issue with their salaries being paid. There's always a big gap or pay gap, or even there's always a threat to go on strike. Some, like we are hearing, some people haven't been paid for between 7 to 18 good months. That's over a year. And they are expected to still work. And they are, during the COVID era, we realized who were the essential workers. And the teachers and health workers were part of the essential workers. So why is it that there's always an issue with their payroll? With every single government in power, there's an issue with paying the teachers and healthcare workers.
It's an issue, because this morning, I don't know, I have 2 major concerns, okay? I don't know why people have to, protest. People have to protest before things or the right thing is being done. Just few months, we saw teachers, going on strike. Does it have to get to that point? That's one question or concern I have to ask this morning. And then secondly, do we have to recruit new teachers?
There is a market for them.
Do we have
students
no,
every day?
Then why do we keep recruiting people if the ones already in the system or the ones practicing or the ones teaching are not being paid?
But here is the case also. There are more students being enrolled. People are having more and more children. Children are getting of school-going age. Schools are being constructed. Some are being renovated. Some are being created with makeshift buildings. So there is the market for them. So it's about the fact that since there's a market for teachers, there will always be a market for teachers. Then the provisions made should be made big enough to accommodate that.
Because when you go to the rural urban, see, there are so many people who have been posted to such communities and they don't even want to go because
the conditions of service
are not favorable to them.
And then sometimes when that happens, it means that we tend to be selfish. If you don't want to go there, the people there also equally needs your services, and there are others who are back there who wants to also get employed and go there. So I'm of the view that in as much as we complain about the services in some of these rural areas, it is high time. I mean, we've been saying that always they should sacrifice. I mean, it is high time they accept postings. Once you're posted and you don't want to go, they should take you from the payroll and employ somebody who wants to go.
Peter, okay, you're towing a very controversial line, but still on the education thing, we know that some schools have recorded very high exam malpractice rates, and we have an official on the line, and Peter is going to handle that conversation. So, Peter, are you ready, please? We have him on the line.
Yes.
So, hello, good morning, sir. Oh, we have lost him. I'm so sorry. We will do our best to reach him again and then get into the conversation. So, while we wait to get in touch, yes, Peter, if you can handle that, I know it is something on your heart, the exam malpractice conversation.
So, last year alone, on this very program, we've had about 7 or 8, segments about this examination malpractice and what have you. And then we proposed solutions and many others. But then EduWatch, African Educational Institute, have come out with a proposal that in order to, prevent or reduce the rate at which students, involve themselves in exams malpractices, it is high time government or authorities hold head teachers responsible for examination malpractices. And so if you're a head teacher of a particular school and your school records more than 50% of exams malpractice, you should be removed from your position as.
Okay, so we have Mr. Kwesi Nimo Jr., the Program Officer for African Education Watch, on the line, and Peter is going to be handling the conversation with him. Hello, sir.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us here on the Koko Digest Morning Show. Right, so Peter. Okay, I'm handing you over to Peter so he can interrogate you a little.
Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. So first of all, from your perspective at African Education Watch, what exactly is happening in our schools today? What has changed?
Good morning, and thank you for having me once again. We acknowledge that in about a few weeks, there will be BEC candidates across the country going to write their final exams. And this activity is one that, just like the West Africa Senior School Certificate Examination, there was been plagued by malpractices in recent years. And our monitoring of the BEC and the WASI since 2020, we have uncovered a series of planned malpractices by some schools across the country. There are hotspots, that is regions where it's most endemic, and there are other places where syndicates exist in schools to perpetrate some of these malpractices. In the next few weeks, or let's say taking it back to even months ago, schools have started taking some monies from students or final year candidates for the VEC, and even as much as the WASI, to provide them with supervised cheating or support them during the examination. This has become a norm. But we acknowledge the progress that has been made. Initially, we had to battle examination questions leakages, in addition to the exam room cheating and collusion that goes on. But about 2 to 3 years ago, in collaboration with the Ministry of Education and the Bureau of National Investigation, which is the BNI, we were able to halt the predominant question leakages by involving the BNI in the questions distribution value chain. So with the questions moving from wire headquarters through to the depots, they are being manned not just by police officers, but by BNI officers. So in about 2 years now, we've had reduced cases of examination questions leakages. But because these two go hand in hand, once the leakages reduced, we started recording heightened cases of examination room collusion. I'm taking it back to about 7 years now. In 2018, the malpractice rate for the exams, predominantly the WASI, was about 0.9. We moved to 2.6 in 2019, 1.8 in 2020. And then since 2021, we've been on the upward rise. This is because stringent measures or deterrent measures have not been put in place to stop those who perpetrate in these actions. Who are we talking about? We're talking about school heads, subject teachers, and teachers who become invigilators during the examinations, parents as well as the candidates themselves, who by virtue of promise of being supported during the examination, barely study effectively in preparation for it. So during this period, in the next few weeks, what we'll be seeing across the country, if nothing significant is done, is that questions will be distributed in the examination halls, and some invigilators will transmit them to their teachers or subject teachers of the paper they are writing. They will solve, transmit back through WhatsApp, and then it will be distributed to students, sometimes even written on the board. Last year, 2025, before the examinations began, we had GES indicating that any staff who was caught culpable of perpetrating examination malpractice will be dismissed outrightly. That is one core Edward has been making since 2020 when we started monitoring the examination. Unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, we had GH Probe, a documentary that they came about with, The Dark World of BEC, which was aired on major television networks, which was exposing some GES staff transacting examination malpractice with cash benefits in return for supervised cheating in some of the schools in Accra Metro. A month from now, we are going to write the BEC. This discovery was made in September 2025. And on September 10th, we called for investigations into the documentary and the sanctions for staff that were identified in the documentary. It's been over 6 months. We've been calling for expedited disciplinary processes, and still we've seen no arrests being made. The outcomes of the investigations have still not been made public. All staff seen in this video are still at post preparing for another BEC in a few weeks' time. This accountability challenge cannot discourage persons who engage in examination malpractice. It cannot reduce the culture, but rather incentivize it, because right now, examination malpractices or engaging in faith is not dangerous. Once there is no stringent measure, there is no deterrent punishment like dismissal. Heads of institutions that were caught on tape, we've reported some to the GES, to WAEC, to Ministry of Education with evidence since the last 3-5 years, still are at post. To the extent we've even had a similar documentary for the WASI. These schools where the malpractices happened in are still centers. Teachers are still at post, they are still teaching, no one has been harmed or nothing has been done to anybody. So we are saying basically that once there is no deterrent, once examination malpractice engagement is not dangerous, once we are not putting any stringent measures in place, in the next few weeks, BEC will happen, we'll hear people have been arrested, we are saying cheating will go on, YF will mark the script and identify similarity in answers of candidates, but we wouldn't hear any stringent measures if nothing is done in the interim to those we know have been recorded on camera through the GH Probes documentary. So currently we've not made any progress in that regard, and it's very alarming, the situation.
All right, sir. So with all that you've said, would you say that this is a system failure?
It's a lot of, there are other factors than the system, because the system is there to make sure that external assessments happen. But once the system fails to act on glaring evidence, on recommendations from civil society like Africa Education, who have been monitoring external assessments, then it means there is an inertia for accountability, because no one wants to be held accountable for their actions. No one is being held accountable for their actions. We've been going as far as petitioning the CID headquarters, the Criminal Investigations Department, through our monitoring work, but no arrest, no investigations. Even if there have been investigations, the public is not aware. So once the system doesn't make engaging in examination of practices a dangerous activity, then that is where we are failing. Because if school heads are being demoted, are being dismissed, staff who engage in examination for practices, students or candidates, are being dismissed. Some are even referred to the police service for criminal investigations. If these things are ongoing, then we'll be making progress to reducing the culture or even eradicating it in its entirety. But once it's not a dangerous activity, there is no danger in engaging in more practices for examination cheating, then we are not making any progress at all.
All right, so we will come back to the punishment you are proposing should be meted out to teachers with this regard. But there's a school of thought that says that, teachers helping students during exams has stayed with us for a very long time. But what is making it this time around very serious is the involvement of technology. Like you rightly stated in your submission, you made mention of WhatsApp and Facebook, teachers and other officials leaking of questions papers through WhatsApp and what have you, and then sending it to students. What do you make of the use of technology? Do you think that the usage of technology in our system, especially in our education systems, when it comes to, do you think that it is something that we should look at?
The use of technology, or basically the use of mobile phones in secondary schools, for a very long time now, we hear GES say there's a ban on the use of mobile phones, but we don't see anything being done about it. The ban would not activate itself if teachers are not empowered to take mobile phones from learners, because we know of cases where teachers will take mobile phones from students, and then before the day ends, there will be an order from above to release the mobile phone. There is no stringent adherence to the ban on mobile phones in school. And it is these mobile phones that have the technology for transmitting these answers or even perpetrating the malpractices themselves. It goes also down to invigilation. GES staff are the ones invigilating. 80% of the invigilators during the external examination, according to information we had from WAEC, are GES staff. The WAEC only has the capacity to employ 20% of the invigilators because of their financing capacity. And most of the time, these external supervisors and invigilators from WAEC, they are paid about a year's time. So invigilation is not the source where we can hint on to say that it will be a solution, because 80% of the invigilators are GES staff, and these GES staff are teachers, and these teachers are teaching specific subjects where learners are expected to pass for them to be appraised properly. So the invigilators, being GES teachers, have a vested interest in the examination. And so we turn the tables and have majority of invigilators and external supervisors being WAEC staff or being persons not on the GES payroll. We are not making progress, because here is the case where the person invigilating is invigilating maybe the subject of a colleague teacher. So the colleague teacher is even on standby for questions to solve for the students. And the technology is also not being significantly banned. It is the norm that when you enter a senior high school or even JHS classroom, children have the mobile phone. They are using them in school, and nothing is being done about it. So if we are going to enforce the ban and also ensure that WAEC has the capacity to employ majority of invigilators as external persons and not GES staff, these two would solve the problem and would contribute to solving the problem. I would also ensure that at least we'll be cleaning the system gradually. But once they still persist, once mobile phones are still being used in schools and no stringent ban is being enforced on it, except the fact that it's written in policy and there is a ban on the use of mobile phones in senior high schools, we are not making progress.
All right, thank you very much. So you at EduWatch is calling for the ban of the use of mobile phones in senior high schools?
We are not actually calling for it. It's there. It is in policy that mobile phones shouldn't be used.
Well,
but the enforcement of the ban is what is lacking. So we are only telling GES to make view of its own code of conduct, because it is in the code of conduct that teachers are not supposed to allow learners to use mobile phones in school, and there is a ban on mobile phones in school. So we are just asking for the enforcement of it, and we've been asking for the longest time.
Well noted, sir. But before you go, my last question: how are you going to ensure fairness in terms of your recommendation of punishing, teachers? Because there's a school of thought that says that there are certain schools that every year we hear of examination malpractices, but there are other schools that we don't hear. But it doesn't mean that they are not also involved in examination malpractices, but just that they have ways and means of, embarking on that act so that people do not even get to know of them. So how are you going to ensure fairness in terms of your recommendation?
Africa Education Watch has no capacity to ensure fairness. The system has to be active on itself to ensure fairness. If external supervision is enhanced, ensuring that external supervisors are available at centers per paper and are there for the entire period, because currently that is not the case. External supervisors are only able to cover just a few schools within the districts or vicinity where they've been posted to, and they can't be there for the entire period. They can't be there for the entire period because they would have to move. Once they are there, we hear from our monitors that if external supervisors from work are post, cheating sometimes is kept. But once they are not there, nothing is done. It is business as usual for those who want to perpetrate in the Malpractice Act. So until WISE has the capacity to ensure the majority of its external supervisors are placed through the entire duration of each paper at all centers, and this is through the Ministry of Education providing adequate funds to them, and the Ministry of Finance also releasing adequate funds for that purpose, we will be making no progress, because there is a case where you know that once external supervisors are exposed, cheating is minimal. But because they can't be exposed at all times at all centers, some schools who already have their plan to engage in the cheating will just go on. And they would have people manning central stations to ensure that when an external supervisor is coming, they blow the alarm. So these are syndicates and these are planned organizations in the schools. Until we improve external supervision, until we enforce the ban on mobile phones, until we make cheating dangerous by ensuring that any teacher who is caught engaging in an examination malpractice is dismissed or even handed to the Ghana Police Service. And any head teacher whose school records more than 50% of examination malpractice is removed from post.
Thank you very much, sir.
These are the measures we are proposing. Until these are done, examination malpractice will not be a dangerous activity, and persons wouldn't be deterred from engaging in it.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Nimo Kwesi Jr. Thank you very much for your time with us this morning. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me as well.
All right, over to you.
All right, thank you so much. That was a very, very educative conversation. And we're hoping to see something done about this, because it's becoming unbecoming, as our teachers used to say back in the teachers. So we have a video on this same issue. So let's take a look at it quickly, and then we come back and wrap up.
Ghana recorded 14.8% examination malpractice in 2025. The meaning is that out of close to 480,000 or so candidates that wrote WASI, almost 15% of students had at least one result cancelled. What is worrying is that of the 14.8% malpractice, 99.7% occurred in the examination room. It means that the bulk of the situation is defined in the examination room, which is what we call examination room collusion between invigilators and then students or candidates. Even though Ghana is preparing for 2026 WASI by June, which is going to be our first WASI with our West African neighbors since COVID, no school head has been sanctioned. If we continue not to demand accountability from school leadership, Ghana could be heading towards 20% more practice in 2026. Because we believe that insofar as the examination of practice is taking place in examination hall, and the school head is actually a supervisor, and the person in whose jurisdiction examination is taking place, whose students are being examined, the person who also nominates invigilators for approval by WAEC, it is important that we sanction school heads whose schools reported significant levels of examination practice beyond at least 50%. And so we are calling on the Ministry of Education to crack the whip on school heads who recorded significant levels of examination malpractice in the 2025 WASI.
Right, so this is how we conclude the conversations for today. Here, Bevlin has a birthday wish to one of our staff here. So let's get along with it.
I would like to wish Jerishan Asida Opokudra. Today is your 3rd birthday. A very happy birthday to you, Jerishan. This is coming from Prisla, here from Clock TV.
Yes, so one of our staff is wishing somebody a happy birthday. Thank you so much for that. And thank you also for joining us here on the Koko Digest Morning Show. Thank you, my colleagues. And a big thank you to everybody that joined hands to make the show a success. We hope to see you bright and early on Tuesday morning. Do stay safe and have a happy weekend ahead.